everybody, and thanks for watching today. I'm Hayward Fowler. This is a Channel 16 information report. I've got Judge Herbie Benson with me. And which court are you over, Judge Benson?
State Court of Tift County.
State Court of Tift County. I saw a post that you made, because you're always trying to share information with the people in the community, on Facebook about a new sentencing thing that y'all are doing. Am I correct in that term?
Right. We are starting up two new courts, a drug court and a DUI court in Tift County, which would be the first time we've had either one of those courts in our circuit.
Now, the advantage to having a drug court and a DUI court, what is it? Are we finding that we have a lot of these drug cases and a lot of DUI cases, and does it bog down things? Is this a streamlined thing, or is it just another approach?
Well, I don't know if it's a streamlined as much as it is another avenue to try to deal with the problems of drug and alcohol addiction and provide some long-term relief as opposed to a stopgap measure along the way.
Judge Benson, there is a sort of a new attitude in the country about drugs and the substance abuse, and a lot of people in the country are looking at it as almost health problems. Is this something that the court's kind of looking at? Look, we don't need to put these people in jail for years and years. We need to help these people get off this stuff?
Well, I mean, yes, I think that's the approach that we're taking with it. I mean, whatever attitude you have to get to this stage, if we can, use these programs to benefit not only the individuals but society as a whole, and that's what we're looking at. We're always looking for better ways to do things, and we feel like that this is going to be a better approach to a problem that's, as you know, is growing leaps and bounds day in and day out.
We haven't put a dent in it, have we?
No, we haven't, unfortunately. And when we think we put a dent in it, then new drugs come onto the scene, or new problems arise from that. The drug court option, if I can give you just a little bit of background on the DUI court, they started in 1989, I believe, in Florida, originally with this concept. And what we're doing is we're taking a select group of individuals, and this is not for just anybody that comes through there. I mean, they are go through an intense screening process, and we look for individuals that meet various criteria. In DUI court, for example, we will be dealing with individuals only after they've been sentenced convicted of DUI. The drug court, which is through the Superior Court, is going to be, they will have some pre-sentence relief along the way. But what has been determined over the years with this is that the ones that go through a drug court or through a DUI court program, I think the statistics they've looked at said that they are far less likely to offend. I mean, there's like a 75 to 80% likelihood as far as not to reoffend for a period of at least 3 years. And some of the studies have got shown up to 14 years, some of the older studies. Whereas I think in looking at statistics, there's 30% of people who are sent to prison do not reoffend, which means 70% of ones go to prison, get out, and immediately or shortly thereafter
they get back in trouble.
Crime. And so, I mean, in just looking at the dollars that it saves the public, just straight in jail costs, taking them out of the jails, we're putting them through a treatment program like. I think some of the studies there shows that it saves as much as $3 for every $1 that you spend on it. But then when you start looking at the ripple effect as far as health care and the ones you're getting off of drugs and making into productive citizens that's contributing back to society, some of those studies have shown that you're getting back as much benefit as $27 for every dollar that you spend with respect to that. So, I mean, the ones on a drug program, it's a highly intensive supervision program. And so, I mean, they're going to be receiving counseling. They're going to come to court and meet with a judge at least twice a month. our team. We'll have a team that they meet with, including a treatment provider, a probation officer, somebody from the district attorney's office or the solicitor's office, depending on which court you're in.
Yes.
And so they'll be meeting with that group, like I said, as a group at least twice a month. They'll be drug tested twice a week, drug and alcohol tested. So there's going to be somebody that's going to be on, and there's going to be an accountability for those that don't do as they're told. And that may be anything from, I think, I don't know if you watched the whole video that I posted yesterday, but that one individual, I think is Trey Anastasia, I think, with the group fish, and I'm not a fish expert as far as the band itself goes, but I mean, he mentioned that he had to call in, I think, on a weekly basis or whatever. He had to call in between like 5 and 5:30, and he called in at 5:31. He said he was 45 seconds late, and they made him write an essay for being 45 seconds late on his call in. And then he missed a treatment program. He missed a treatment session with his provider, and I think they put him in jail for 48 hours. So, the repercussions for failing to do what they're supposed to do could be anywhere from as light as writing an essay to jail time, to being kicked out of the program. And these programs are anywhere from 12 months to 2 years long.
I like the approach of giving a person an opportunity to get back on their feet again and get their lives back. The other thing, and I know you've seen this and y'all seen this in this cyclomatic thing of all these people coming back, some of these drugs are so darn addictive, and it just wrecks these people's lives. Where if you have the strict disciplinarian there and saying you can't do this, and if you do these little things that are not unattractive, but they're not pleasant, okay?
No, that's right. It's not meant to be pleasant. It's meant to be effective.
And I think I love the idea, and a lot of us have said for years that this alcohol problem and drug problem is a medical, psychological thing, and if we can get these people some help.
Right. Well, Hayward, I mean, years back, I mean, I'm a child coming through the 70s, and all that. And I remember hearing and reading about, the hippie generation, LSD and heroin. And
oh, really?
Thinking, groovy. I saw it on news. It was black and white news.
I lived through it.
I understand. But and obviously, as you said, there was very negative connotation anybody that used drugs.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there still is to a certain extent.
I have somewhat a negative.
But what a lot of folks don't realize is that there's a large portion of the population that's got addiction problems, through no fault, and sometimes it's through no fault at all. I mean, we like to put the responsibility on the individual, But I mean, one of the biggest problems in the country today is painkiller and opioid addiction, and that's come through. And there's been study where doctors have been so easy and quick to prescribe pain medication, not realizing the addiction process or how addictive those drugs are, that someone could get into an accident, and get prescribed, and suddenly they're hooked on pain pills, and then they go from that to, well, now I've got to have so many, pills to get my high. And then suddenly, how do I get them? Because I got to have a prescription to get them. And then if I'm buying them on the black market around, they're expensive with respect to that. So a large part of that particular segment of people with addiction problems have turned to heroin, have gone back to the old staple of heroin, because it's, from what I understand, and what I learned, it's basically the same high as the pain medication, but much cheaper.
And it's an underground market.
It's an underground market, but you don't have to, go through a druggist and risk potential.
So, Judge Benson, this gives you an opportunity, rather than putting somebody in jail for an addiction, and saying, I'm going to give you 7, 8, 10 years for this addiction you got. This gives you a chance to make a productive person out of them with extreme, consequences if they don't work within the program.
Oh yeah, I mean, the reality of the situation is that we as judges can put them in, we can sentence them to 5, 6, 7 years in prison will do for a drug problem. But one, that's not helpful. Two, the prison populations, the state's not going to allow them to stay in prison long because they got too many other hardcore prison offenses. They're going to turn them loose no matter what we sentence them to. If we send them to treatment, if they don't have any consequence of that, 70 to 80% of people never finish treatment, with regard to that. So, I mean, this is putting them into a process where they're supervised and that there's immediate repercussions.
Well, I can imagine families that have a family member watching this right now and saying, holy cow, if we get him in this program, they're going to monitor him, they're going to make him toe the line so that he gets through the program. And I watched those, where they come in and they go to a family on TV and they introductions where they talk to them about getting them off of drugs and things. And treatment is the answer in my mind. But you've got to sometimes make these people go for treatment.
Well,
and this will do it, won't it?
Oh, yeah, well, it's going to certainly provide them an avenue. I mean, I think the reality is that if they don't want treatment, if they don't want to get well, they're never going to get well.
Right.
And you just got to hope. And that's part of our criteria in trying to determine. We're trying to make sure we take somebody into the program that wants to get better.
You don't want to waste.
Process,
you don't want to waste the process. If
right.
Somebody don't
no,
want to
I
get
don't want
better.
to waste my time, their time, and resources. The community and all that. So I mean, these folks that we're looking at, I mean, they're your teachers, they're your doctors, they're your lawyers, they're your sons and daughters.
Absolutely.
I mean, I talked to a guy the other day who told me he almost was in tears talking about his father being addicted to pain pills from back surgery and how he was taking so many of them, that he said I used to go down and just have to talk to him like a dog before he finally, got past it along the way.
Well, I'll give you an example. When my father was an alcoholic, and the old term, they sent him off for 12 months. And he went to prison for 12 months. But if we'd have had this program, so he could have been monitored, so he could have got into a program that would have helped him.
Sure.
My dad, and let me tell you this, he never drove drunk again after what happened. I mean, he didn't quit drinking, but he was a more responsible drinker, I suppose would be the right term. But I like this idea, and I want to thank you for agreeing to explain it to us so that we, this gives people hope.
Well, I hope so. I mean, this is a project that Judge Reinhardt's actually been working on for 6 or 7 years.
Yes.
So I'm kind of coming late to the table, since only being elected starting in 2015. But I mean, we feel we're proud to be able to get it started. We're one of the last circuits in the state of Georgia to implement an accountability court type thing.
Yes.
And we're anxious to get started. One of the good things about it is if you're looking at someone that's got an addiction problem,
yes,
they don't have many options. If they go into private treatment, typically that's a very expensive process. If you don't have insurance that'll cover it.
It's incredible.
And a lot of times, the treatment providers, that's all they're interested in is the insurance, and once the insurance runs out, they're going to kick you out. But this provides, I mean, it's going to be a sliding scale. If you can pay for your treatment, you're going to pay for it. But if you can't, we still have treatment for you, no matter what your economic,
I got to ask you this. Could a person voluntarily come before the court and get in this, or must they be charged with?
Yeah, they're going to have a crime to charge with. But, but now I will tell you this. I mean, in the last year and a half since I've been state court judge, my secretary, we probably have sent 12 to 18 people into rehab facilities throughout the state.
Sure.
I mean, if somebody has a drug or alcohol problem,
yes,
generally won't help. I mean, all they got to do is call my office.
Yes.
And we'll find them a place to go.
A rehab.
And it won't have to be part of the program, but to the extent we can, if they want to come and sit in on, some of our sessions, that we can.
Sure.
We're still trying to learn what we can do and can't do.
Try to save
because it's
people.
brand new.
Trying to say,
But you know, they don't necessarily have to be. We don't have to have a foreman in the program.
sure.
If they want help, then I can
Contact
promise
your
you
office.
that I'll do everything. We'll do everything we can to get them treatment. I mean, that's the ones we want. Is the ones that won't help. And you know,
Let's
there's
make-
too many folks out there that just you know, unfortunately, like, you got to hit rock bottom, and it's tough before you realize just how much help you need. And there's too many, and there's parents and spouses. A lot of times think they're helping them, helping folks with addiction process, but really they're just prolonging the problem. And I know it's tough for someone you love to see them going through that, but sometimes you know, I ain't trying to put fault on anybody, but sometimes you cause them more harm than good.
Sometimes they just need to bottom out, don't they?
Yeah.
And then let's see if we can lift them.
Yeah.
I like this idea.
Yeah, I think it's going to
Thank
be
you.
great.
Thank you. I compliment you and Judge Reinhardt and all you folks that are working on this. Is really addressing a serious and real problem in all these 19 communities we're in. I'm telling you, folks, this addiction thing is a monster. And if you have someone addicted in your family, try to get them some help. And if you're within this area of Tiff County, contact, like the judge said, contact his office, and there's some options out there. And if you are an addict, it's expensive to get help, but I hope you get help. Again, thank you. And thank you for being the good human you are. And I'm very proud of the fact that you are judge in Tiff County, and also Judge Reinhardt.
Well, thank you.
all
Judge
y'all
Cross
good
will be a participant in it too. I don't want to leave her out.
Oh, okay.
But she's,
yeah.
I mean, it's all three judges. And if I can mention one other thing for the
Sure,
rest of your viewing
sure,
audience.
yeah.
I mean, Lowndes County the Superior Court has recently started a drug court.
Mhm.
Their state court is starting a DUI court down in Valdosta. I know you cover Valdosta
Typical,
area.
similar to this.
Right, and then Cook County has a drug court. So there's a lot of options in your viewing area available that for people outside of Tiff County and outside of our circuit, that if they don't know who to call, once again, they just call our office. We'll put them in touch with the right people.
Don't drug and drive, and don't drink and drive. But it ain't the worst thing that happened to you with this new system. You can get some help. So we all need to be careful.
Appreciate
Thank
everything
you
you do,
again.
Hayward.
Glad I know you. Y'all keep watching. We'll keep filming and bringing you great information. You've been watching Channel 16's information program.